the first time the lion felt afraid of his own roar. The sun was just rising over the savannah. Kairo was not a weak lion. His body was strong, his claws were sharp, and his mane shone gold in the early light. Other animals moved aside when he walked past. They believed he feared nothing. But inside his chest, a different story lived, one that no one could see. He had lost a fight once. It had happened months ago when he tried to defend his land from an older, stronger lion. The battle was loud and violent. Dust filled the air. In the end, Kairo lay on the ground, bleeding and shaking, while the other lion roared in victory and walked away with his pride. Since that day, Kairo's roar felt smaller, his steps slower, his heart full of quiet shame. Each morning, he climbed a small hill alone to look at the sunrise. The sky still turned orange and pink like before, but instead of feeling powerful, he felt like an actor in the wrong story. Maybe I am not a true lion, he thought. Maybe courage is not for me. One morning, as he stood there in silence, he heard a weak cough behind him. A young lion cub, thin and limping, was trying to climb the same hill. With every step, the cub slipped on loose stones but kept going. When he finally reached the top, he collapsed near Kairo's paws, breathing hard. "What are you doing here, little one?" Kairo asked. The cub lifted his head. "No? They say lions are brave," he said between breaths. "I wanted to see where brave lions stand." Kairo's chest tightened. "You have made a mistake," he replied. "I am not brave. I lost a fight. Real courage belongs to others." The cub frowned. "But you are still here," he said. "You came back to this hill. You did not disappear." The words sat heavily in Kairo's mind. He had never thought of still being here as a kind of courage. Over the next days, the cub returned again and again, always climbing the hill, always breathing hard, always sitting beside Kairo. Sometimes they spoke. Sometimes they just watched the sky. Slowly, other animals began to notice. A nearby gazelle with a scar on her leg, an old elephant with a broken tusk, and even a shy hyena who did not laugh much started to gather at the bottom of the hill. They did not come because Kairo was perfect. They came because they were tired, wounded, and unsure of their own strength. And something about a lion who still showed up each morning made them feel less alone. One afternoon, a new danger arrived. A group of hunters entered the savannah, leaving traps and strange smells behind. The animals grew restless. At night, they heard sharp noises and saw flashes of light. Fear moved through the grass like a cold wind. Kairo felt it too. His first thought was to hide, to keep his head down, to avoid another painful failure. Someone stronger should protect them, he thought. Someone who never loses. But when he looked around, he saw the cub, the limping gazelle, the old elephant, the quiet hyena. Their eyes rested on him, not with blind trust, but with a simple question. What now? He did not feel bigger. He did not feel braver, but he felt responsible. Night, under a sky full of stars, Kairo called the animals together. His roar was not as loud as before, but it was steady. "We cannot pretend the danger is not here," he said. "But we do not have to face it alone." He asked the birds to watch from the sky for signs of traps. He asked the small animals to notice strange smells and warn the others. He asked the elephant to guard a safe path to the river. He did not stand above them as a perfect king. He stood among them as one frightened heart trying to protect many. When dawn came, the hunters moved closer, but their path was no longer easy. Birds cried out from above when they placed a new trap. The monkeys dropped sticks to distract them. The gazelles changed their routes. Guided by Kairo's plan, the animals worked together to stay one step ahead. Some traps still fell. Some mistakes still happened. But the savannah was not silent and helpless anymore. That evening, exhausted, Kairo returned to his hill. The cub followed, eyes shining. "You were brave today," the cub said softly. Kairo shook his head. "I was scared the whole time." The cub smiled. "I did not say you were not scared. I said you were brave." Kairo looked out at the horizon. The sun was setting, painting everything in soft gold. He thought about the old battle he had lost. The days he had spent believing that courage meant never falling. Now he saw something different. Maybe true courage was not about winning every fight. Maybe it was about showing up, even when your paws still remember the ground where you once fell. In the weeks that followed, the hunters finally left. The savannah healed slowly. The traps rusted and disappeared under new grass. Life did not become perfect, but it continued. Small dangers still came and went. And each time, the animals looked to Kairo not because he was fearless, but because he was honest about his fear and willing to stand with them anyway. If you have ever felt like you lost one important fight in life, and that loss stole your courage, remember Kairo. You are not your worst day. You are not only the moment you fell, you are also every quiet morning you chose to stand up again, even when your heart was shaking. You do not need a perfect roar to be brave. You only need to keep showing up, one honest step at a time. If this story gave your heart a little courage, please follow and subscribe for more gentle English stories.